So if you don't want to be, it records only my my frame, so you should be good. But you're more than welcome. You have got to accept the recording, and you can black out your video if you want. All right, so we're going to start with a warm up today. So we're just going to start out nice and easy with our kind of low impact jump rope. Feet kind of almost stay on the floor. It's more of a weight transfer. And just move your arms like you're jumping rope. We'll do this for 4 and 3 and 2. And good. We're going to go right into a half jack here for 4 and 3 and 2. And good. Go right back to your low impact jump rope. 3, 2, and now this time we're going to take it into a full jack. So 4, 3, 2, and go right back to low impact rope. 3, 2, good, and back to your jack. 4, 3, 2. You know, leave your arms out here. Take it to an agitator. So arms are out. You're just twisting. And good, you can go right back down to low impact. 3, 2, good, and jack. 4, 3, 2, good. You leave your arms out for your agitator. 3, 2, good, and low impact. 4, 3, 2, widen it out here, heels stay on the floor, and we're gonna lunge, and lunge, lunge, and now we're just gonna hold it over to the right side, flatten out your back, bend the right knee, left hand comes down, lower your hips here, and then extend that right arm up. 3, 2, and 1. You bring that arm down, glide through your center here. Leave that right arm on the floor, press those hips down, and then extend that left arm up. 3, 2, and 1. Good. We'll come right back into the center. Stay out in the straddle here. Look right through those legs. And as you do, holding onto the floor, just try to open up that straddle as wide as you can. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, I should have known you were going to come over. Good. We're going to turn over to the right side of the mat. 3, 2, and good. You'll walk yourself over to the left side of your mat. 3, 2. Good. We'll come back to your center. Heel toe your feet right back underneath you. Big toes touch, instep touches, hands to the middle part of your quad. Knees are bent, tuck your pelvis underneath, and you're just going to roll yourself all the way up. Clasp open here, just roll open through. Take a look over the left, center, right, center, left, center, and right. All right, excellent work. All right, now we're going to start our metabolic strength conditioning. Yay, here we go. Come on in. All right. I'm gonna get the You found it. Sorry, yeah, I started. All right. We just did warm up, but what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move right into some sets here. You guys are gonna start with push-ups. You may want to take them on your knees. We're gonna do quite a bit of push-ups here. All right, we're gonna take 45-second sets for push-ups. And then we're just going to add on. So you get down onto your floor, ready, and begin. Push-ups down and up, down and up. All right. Good. Keep going with those push-ups down and up. Good. All right. Excellent. I'm glad everybody needs to hydrate, right? Including you. You're also getting me out of push-ups, Scooby, so I do appreciate that. All right, so you guys have about 10 more seconds left of your push-ups here. And we're just bringing that chest and belly down at the same time, and then up, and down, and up, 3, 2, and good. Rest it. All right, we're gonna take a little bit of a rest here, and we're gonna add on to our push-up. So we're gonna take a push-up and then a stand-up. So what your next set is gonna look like is a push-up like you just did. You take a push-up, bring yourself here, and you're gonna come stand up overhead. Then you're gonna bring yourself right back down. Take another push-up, press back, come to a stand-up. Okay? Ready? 3, 2, and begin. Go. All right, we are taking our push-up into stand-up. Push-up. And you may want to just slow your pace down a little bit. Have it just kind of match your cardiovascular and your mobility. Up. And as we do our stand-up here, see if you can just get it to be driving the heel down into the floor so that you're working your quads. Push up. All right. You may find that you're constantly leading with the same leg on your stand-up. Good. And resting. That's okay because we're going to do that one more time, but we're going to add on stand up, arms pressed overhead. If you want to use weights here, you can. You take your push-ups right on those weights. Here, come all the way back. Stand and an overhead press with those weights in your hands. All right, we are ready to go. Begin. Push up. Bring yourself down with weights if you want. Stepping up with the opposite leg and an overhead press. Watching your lower back when you do an overhead press. Step up, tighten the core, press up overhead. I'm like, these are my fake weights here that I have with my knuckles. All right, heart rate should be up. So now we know there was some question. What could this possibly be? This is what it is. You got heart rate and strength, and good, we're resting. All right, we're gonna move on our next exercise. We're gonna do a right lunge, coming out this way. You can use weights if you want, maybe in either hand. You're lunging out, and then come back to a split. Lunge out. All right, ready to go in 3, 2, and begin. Lunging out here, and come back to your side. How do you get that balance point here? The other thing, you guys know, your pros, when you're trying to come out over this side, make sure that you don't have your hip over your knee. You want to make sure you get a big enough step so you drop your hips back instead of keep going to the lateral. That's as far as side as you go with that step. Come back over the side. All right, nice and low. Working the core here. Heart rate's definitely up. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, good. We are resting here. You're gonna add on here. So you're gonna take a Statue of Liberty. So you'll take that lunge out to the side. You'll take the opposite arm and push it up over your head. So we step out to the right, balance, and push your left arm up over the head. All right, ready to go in 3, 2, and begin. All right, lunging outright. Find the balance first, then you're going to press up overhead. And press up. Good. And up. Good. Keep going. I'm going to grab the top part of this activity so that people can see that. Good. Nice and even here. Your heart rate should start to settle in a little bit by now. 3, 2, and rest. Excellent. All right, we have one more addition on to our Statue of Liberty here. So we're going to take both arms up overhead. So you can just continue to lunge out, come back here. Now we take an overhead press again here. So both arms come out here. So if you're using weights, use 2 weights so that you're even. We are ready to go in 3, 2, and begin. Good. So same side. All the way back, both arms up overhead. And nice and easy. All right, so now we were talking about sciatica stuff here. So if you keep that back nice and flat, okay, and send your hips to behind you, and then just take this sideways. So with a sciatica or back problem, if you take these and stick your butt back this way, should not aggravate your lower back. The trouble comes when we lift forward of the body this way, right? So make sure you're sticking that hip behind you. And excellent, good rest. As you might guess, we're going to repeat that whole series over to the left side. All right, so we're going to start out, you're just taking a basic lunge out to your left, come back over that right leg and balance. Ready, 3, 2, and begin. Over and balance. Over and balance. All right, again, you're working on just sticking that butt behind you. Good. Keep your chest parallel to the floor. I saw all of those like long spine exercises. This is part of it. So this mobility here is a safe movement pattern. And then you really want to kind of like push into your foot and use your core to come back. Right? So push in and the core takes over. You're nice and low here. Good. 3, 2, and excellent. Good. We are resting here. All right, resting for about 25 seconds, and then we're going to take that, add over with our Statue of Liberty onto this side. Whew, you guys, heart rate should be up. Yes. Yes. Good. And from now on, it's always tricky in New England. Do we wear sweats? Do we wear shorts? I'm going to vote for the shorts next time. All right, here we go. Over to the next side, adding the Statue of Liberty, and go. Add to your side. Come all the way back, and press up overhead. Same movement pattern, pushing up overhead. Good. All right, so be very mindful of these, right? We talked about kind of come to your side, push off, use your core, find that balance before you extend your torch up into the air, right? So we don't want to kind of wind up doing stuff that looks like we're just kind of doing this and falling back down. You want to find your balance and then extend the torch and then come out to the side, right? So use that core balance and rest. All right, last add on here, we're going to take that out to the side, and then both arms are going to come up overhead, but we've got a little bit more rest to do. Good. So we're working with strength and heart rate. So if your heart rate's really getting jacked up in between, especially level changes, just kind of like move around a little bit, right? You swing your arms, ready to go. 3, 2, and here we go. All right, out to the side and find the balance, overhead press. We're here, come back, and overhead press. All right, finding that balance. And accent. And also, when we're working on stuff like this, it becomes also a core exercise because we are working on our balance. But it also does make our heart rate work a little bit more because we're engaging more muscles. More muscles need more blood. So we're working on heart rate a little bit. All right. And rest. Excellent. Okay, we've got 25 seconds rest. What's our next series here? All right, we're going to start with our squats. Next series of exercise, squats. All right, so from the side, you're going to just drop your hips down and up. You can leave them at your side with weights. Keep them in line with your ankles. We're just taking a nice, easy squat. Chest is up. 3, 2, and begin. So dropping down and up. Good. From your front, your toes are just slightly turned out, just outside hip distance apart. Drop your hips through, keeping your chest in your head. Look at the wall or something. Find a spot right in front of you. So as you get tired, you don't wind up kind of like dropping your torso and having your head look down at the floor. Always find that spot. Lift the torso, lift your head, lower your hips. And then when you come up, drive those heels into the floor. Drive them all the way down, come all the way to standing. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Take a little bit of a rest here. We're going to add a bicep curl on. So we take a squat, close squat, coming up, bicep curl. Squat and bicep curl. Good, same thing. Want to make sure that your kneecaps and your toes are going in the same direction. So toes are just gently up. When you bend, your knees go over those toes. Ready and go. So squat, chest is up, and a bicep curl. Good. So here we also want to make sure that when you do this curl, you're not throwing your hips forward, right? So I'm just going to give you guys a side view here. When you go to do your squat, you still squat, your hips low, come up, and your bicep curl is here. Just those arms are moving. It's real easy to throw your hips forward, especially coming up out of the squat. So hold steady, just your arms. Good. All right, we got about 10 seconds left. So you can go a little bit lower on this last 8 seconds. Nice and low. Good. And bicep. And 3, 2, and awesome. Good. Resting for 25. Our last progression on this is going to be an overhead press. So you're going to take your squat, bicep curl, overhead press. Right? I believe it is. We're doing a lot of shoulders, right? I make a mistake. It is not an overhead press. We've done enough of those. It's a tricep press back. So you're going to take that bicep curl, and then you're going to take a press back straight to the shoulders. Ready to go in 3, 2, and go. So you're dropping down all the way up, bicep curl, and straight arm press back. Right back, ready for your squat. Good. And press. Oh, this is way better than more overhead presses. And all right, get this tricep activated. And up. Curl, press back. Good. Press. And good. Drop those hips nice and low. Chest is up. You still want to find that spot in front of you. Biceps and pressing. Good. Low hips. And good, resting. All right, let's grab a sip of water if you need to right now. We're going to go on to do some core work for you guys here. All right, we're going to take some Pilates sit-ups. Grab a sip of water. We're going to take 3 sets, Pilates sit-ups. Find yourself on your mat when you're ready. All right, my heels are going to be here. I'm going to roll myself all the way down, extend my arms up, and sit up, and extend my arms up overhead to an L. Ready and go. All the way up, and roll down, extend out. Up, and extend up. Good. Nice and easy. Really try to reach up for your ceiling here when you get up all the way on those. The hip bone here reaching up. And lifting. Focus on lifting that chest all the way up. And 3, 2, and 1. Good. We'll rest for 25, and then we're going to do 2 more sets of those. So anybody who's had some back issues, the modification that you could do here is to just simply stay up in this range and just move from here to here. If that does start to get a little bit, then just work your bottom part. You can just lift the chest up here. Okay? Ready and begin. Up and down. Good. So just rolling yourself up, reach those hands in. So when I roll down here, I pull my elbows to my ribs so my arms are into my torso. Right? So I have that right here. You want to make it a little bit more difficult for yourself. You can leave your arms long so that they're moving through that range of motion as a long lever. It's a little bit more challenging as we progress. And resting. All right, resting here. So in between, if your core is starting to get tired, you can pull your knees into your chest, pull your pelvis off the floor, stretch. You might even want to just take a bridge, open this up here. Good. We got one more set to do with our Pilates full sit-ups. You ready? We call for you, yeah, but thank you for your support. All right, and begin. All the way down and up. Good. If you have your dog for motivation when you sit up, you need to cuddle in. But you gotta sit up in order to get the cuddle. Well, I guess no, I don't. All right. And up. And you gotta move, baby. So sit. Push it. Push it. All the way up. All right, so in these last few, if you want to challenge those heels up off of the floor, good, you can bring them up off of the floor. And do one more. And awesome. All right, let's roll yourself back down onto the floor. Knees are going to come in. Peel your pelvis off of the floor. Good. I'm just going to have you stand over here. The dog is a bit of a narcissist and must get in every recording that we do, just so we know. All right, so we're gonna open those knees. You're silly. All right, here we're gonna bring your knees in, rock yourself up. And you guys just come all the way over here and come into your tabletop. Hands are right under your shoulders, knees are right under your hips, curl your toes underneath. You're gonna lift your hips here. So you're in a downward facing dog. And just work through the back of your heels here, pressing them down to the floor. Good. If they're already off the floor, press them further into the floor. And then just sort of bend your right, and then bring it back to straight. And then bend the left, and bring that back to straight. And I'm going to have you guys glide yourself forward out into a plank here. And you're going to take your right knee to your left elbow and replace. And then you'll take your left knee to your right elbow and replace. You're going to do 9 more on each. Bring that out. So you're just working through in a plank, adding a little bit of a mountain climber. And you'll do about 10 on each on your honor system here. Good. Try to keep yourself forward over your shoulders as you're doing these as well. And it's easy to kind of sit back here and just do this. So in order to get your core engaged, you really want to be over your wrists here. Even when you're doing a regular plank, sometimes you put the hips up here, or a mountain climber, we just kind of do this into the back. You got to be over your wrists so that you're engaging that core and then sending it back. All righty. So you guys will finish up. Just drop right down onto your knees. Send your hips back. Walk your hands all the way out front. And drop your forehead down to the mat and just recover your breath. And exhale. And exhale. Good. We'll bring your hands right back down. Curl the toes under. We'll come back into the downward facing dog. Good. This time I'm going to have you guys just pivot around back into the straddle on your mat. You're going to bend into your right knee, lower your hips, stretch that out, glide through to the left, and bend the left and stretch out the right. Glide back on through, and one more time to the left. Good, we're going to heel toe yourself in just about hip distance apart here. Right hand's going to come onto the right side. If you see as I do this, I just drop my hips behind me so that my back can stay flat instead of rounding myself forward here. That's going to stress out my low back. So drop your hips, pull that here, tuck that pelvis all the way underneath yourself here. Bring yourself all the way up to your standing posture here. Feet are going to come together. Inhale all the way up overhead and exhale over to the side. Again, let me just adjust myself here so that we get to top. Over to the side here, opening up your side body. And coming all the way back to center, bring your arms down. Inhale up overhead. And exhale, open up that side body here. And coming all the way back on to center here. We've got one more exercise to do. You're going to hold yourself on that right leg. Your left leg's going to come up right in front of you. You're going to take your hands, clasp them behind you, open up your chest. You're going to try to like sit into a chair and then come all the way up to standing. Sit into that chair and come up to standing. Then I'm just going to have you guys do 10 on each leg. So kind of the same thing that we did with our squats, right? Because this is a one-legged squat. We just changed where the weight lays on our body to put it behind us. But your head and your chest stay upright, okay? So after you've done 10, you're going to switch over to your other side. Sit right onto that left side, hands clasped behind, float that right leg, and just go sit in a chair and stand, and sit, and up. So I have a very high chair that I'm sitting in. I'm not quite recovered from Thursday yet, so my chair is a pretty tall chair. What you want to do is try to imagine you're sitting on the lowest version of your chair that you possibly can be sitting on. Good. Once you've done 10 on either side, release your hands. Take your left leg behind your right leg, toes together, heels apart, and stick this left hip out to the side. Stretching out that IT band and some of those secondary, tertiary muscles there on those single legs. Good, and you'll send the weight into that left, and then you're gonna take the left over the right, and now we're gonna stick your right leg out to the right side. 3. And 1, good. Weight goes back into your right leg here. Take that left leg, open it up into a nice big lunge here. It's nice and straight at first. Then I'm gonna have you bend that back knee so that you have a nice stretch through here. Both arms come up overhead. My left leg is back, so I grab my left wrist and I pull it over to my right side. 3, 2, and back to center. Bring those arms down. And then you're going to just switch up those legs. At first, that right leg goes back straight. And then I'm going to bend it, stretching through. Arms come up, and I grab that right wrist. 3, 2, and 1 back to center here. We'll do 1 stretch for your hamstrings here. Hands going to be right on the mid part of your quad. Go ahead and straighten out one leg again with a nice long spine, right? Imagine that tennis ball where you just tuck your chin so you're not dropping it, but you're kind of tucking it. Lengthen out your spine here. Bend both, and then straighten the other. Holding it there. Maybe you can lift your toes up off the floor if you want a little bit more. Stick that hip back. Good, we'll bend both, and then you'll straighten both. Pressing your hands into your thighs. Stretch out long through the spine. 3, 2, and 1. Bend those knees. Tuck your pelvis all the way underneath here. Inhale, both arms all the way up overhead. And exhale out. All right, guys. Nice job on your metabolic strength today. Good work. Good work. Made it.
Thanks.